But there's lots of different reasons for movement. It's good to just stay limber. One reason it's good to move, right, is because spacing is so huge, right? Typically in a fighting game, Smash included, if you are better at spacing than your opponent, you'll win every time. Spacing is, if you've got really good spacing, it's so fun playing against. So obviously, it's a lot easier to space and aim against the stationary target than a moving target. So one reason to always be moving around is to make it harder for people to hit you because they don't know where you are, they don't know where you can be. It's just harder to hit a moving target. So it's good to always be moving because of that. It keeps your hands limber and shit. It makes it hard for people to predict your movement options because if I know where you're going to be in half a second, I can put a hit. I don't have to. Instead of trying to hit you, right, I'll just put a hitbox where I know you're going to be in half a second and you'll move into that attack for me. So you might, if you watch me play, you'll see I often do a lot of this, right, in neutral, right? It's never going to hit him on the ground, right? But if he decides to jump for any reason, he's going to jump up into that and it's hard to react because it's such a fucking quick... Oh! But yeah, and it also depends on your character's movement options, right? So Fox, so for instance, Joey there, he didn't get the punishes, but he made me do a lot of whiffs. Generally, you're trying to make your opponent whiff so you can punish it. That's a huge objective in neutral. And by jumping up above me, he made me whiff a lot because Fox has got really good vertical spacing, right? And a lot of people aren't used to it because they're very used to the footsies of horizontal spacing. Very few characters are really good at vertical spacing, so most people aren't used to it. So he'll do like that kind of triple jump shit to try and get a whiff so that he can then come down. So a character like Fox, yeah, he'll use a lot of that weave in and out movement, right? Whereas a character like Ryu won't do that at all. His movement's very slow, methodical, he walls you in slowly. So it also depends on the character and the matchup and shit, right?
Everyone's unique. Everyone's got a unique play style and different sort of things.
Yeah.
You'll just see similarities with certain things that are character-based rather than player-based.
So for instance, forward tilt is a really good option in neutral for little match because it's not really punishable in shield. But against Fox, he gets a free dash attack punish if he shields a forward tilt, which leads to huge combos and shit. Right? So forward tilt becomes really bad in neutral against Fox if you're little match. So those kinds of character interactions are very important. Get out of here. Yeah, and so there's a really weird... One thing I have observed in this game, right, is that there's nearly always a chaser and a chasee. Like there's one person who's approaching and the other person is waiting for them to approach or run away. And in nearly every situation, you want to be the chasee. Like you want them to be coming to you, right? Because then you've got way more options because you can run away to bait stuff, but you can also run in with a dash attack and catch them off guard and not reacting. So, multiple reasons, but generally you want to be more patient. You want to wait for them to come to you, right? The more patient player is usually an advantage, right? But there's some weird mental thing where it's really hard, like there's been so many times I'm like, I know, just don't approach, just stand and wait, let them come to me, right? And then the tension mounts and then I'll just suddenly run in and dash attack and they'll shield and kill me. It's like, why the fuck did I do that? So there is like a patience pressure part of it, which is really hard to get around. No, it's like 4 kills.
Platform.
And then, yeah, and then sort of a good thing to do is like, wait for them to come to you and then move backwards, they'll whiff in front of you, get a punish, right? But if you do that too much, then you run out of stage and you know, you are backed into a corner and you lose stage control, so that's a big part of it too.
Sorry.
Standing there, I mean, yeah.
It's just like they just outplayed.
Instead of standing there, maybe try just sort of walking backwards and forwards a little bit, waiting for them to come in. One thing that you can do, if you're the faster character, which will make you weird, just charge at them and then stop just outside of their range and do nothing and see what they do. Like a lot of characters will be like, they'll see you running and they'll be like, I'm going to swing so that he hits me, but you stop, the swing misses, and then you get a punch.
Stay still. Like, you can do this still. Oh, fuck. You do that shit, right? I don't know if
Yeah.
you know how to do that, but like if you can do that shit, oh my god.
Right, so go over there, right? Go all the way to the edge, right? Okay, so here, this is a real basic example, but like, if I see him start running from there, right? My brain's going to calculate it and be like, alright, he's running to hit me here, he's not going to expect being hit here, so I'm going to dash attack about there and try and do it so I suddenly come forward and dash attack him, right? But if he decides he's just going to run and stop here, right? Then the dash attack's going to whiff right in front of him.
No, I just got down to it.
That's a real basic example. It's never that black and white, but like, so that's how I used to beat Invisi's jigs, right? He'll always try and intercept your approach with like a forward air and then fade it back. So you just run and you stop, and the forward air goes just in front and misses, and then you're gonna punish, right? If you're the faster character, which Mac is, you kind of want to be trying to leverage that speed by doing stuff like that. Just using like weird weaving in and out movements to try and get them to fucking throw out a move. Like the goal is that you come in and out, and as you're going out, the move misses, and then you come back in again. So like you come in and then you might perfect pivot out. Right, so here's the thing I like as Fox, right? You come in and you want to perfect pivot out, and you want to do it so that their attack just misses you, and then you get a dash attack, and you start a combo. So try moving around, try weaving in and out, try and make your movement as dynamic as possible. So if you're going from A to B, instead of going in a straight line, try and like mix it up and do weird shit. Sometimes walking backwards and forwards, straightening with forward tilts can be good. Sometimes you just want to run and roll back. I find that's good.
That's so broken in this game. Run roll back.
It's bad on paper, but it works out really well.
If you're spacing it right and they're not like right here when you roll, they can't like just punish you. Cause like if they're like here, if they're like right here when you roll, they can just do that and just like run past you.
Right, so yeah, with a lot of characters, I'll just run and do this because I want it. Okay, so he's dash attack there, right? That's the kind of thing I want. Running and rolling back, I want him to just try and hit me and whiff in front of me, right? It's not very good against Mac because when you're doing that, you need to try and stay outside of their like threat bubble. And the threat bubble is basically, imagine like a bubble, if you will, on the screen. And if I'm inside that bubble, that means he can do an option and hit me before I can react to it. So the bubble is really based on reaction speed, right? If I'm standing here, I can't shield a dash attack. If I'm standing here, I can shield a dash attack on reaction. So this kind of strategy, it's not very good against Mac because his bubble is very big horizontally.
Like,
so that's not so good against Mac. Might be good against another character.
Yeah, it's like...
So, really easy to say but really hard to do is to try and find the threat bubble of every character and just sit on the outside of it and weave in and out of it with music to trigger options and punish. Right? Way easier said than done. But if you can figure out how to do that, you'll be a huge